Today on A Commonly Good MTG, we are playing with Selesnya Enchantments. And man, when I took a look and saw I was going to be playing with Selesnya Enchantments, I almost threw up a little bit in my mouth. But then I realized those days are over. The Kamiya Transients and Generous Visitor are gone. It's just a new day with new Selesnya green and white enchantment-based heavy deck. Yes, Calix is here, but he wasn't the bad guy. He was just the facilitator. So all new enchantments, pretty much all new creatures. Let's see what this thing has going on. If that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, someone who firmly believes in you, despite what your mama says, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Filmed for a live studio audience. Thank you so much, Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the 8th Hub, posted by Rush2112. That sounds terribly familiar. And it's called Selesnya Enchantments. I almost was like, no way, man, I'm not playing Selesnya Enchantments. You can't make me do it. And I realized, no, man, it's not last meta, it's current meta. This is the new one. This is the one that everyone's been talking about. There should be something different about it. And yeah, there are a lot of different things in this particular deck. As a matter of fact, there's only like 2 cards in here from the last deck that I can tell. Like the last Selesnya enchantment, yes, you had Calix in it. Yes, you had Audacity. But other than that, like nothing. I don't think they had Elvish Archivist in there, or at least rarely. I don't remember being in there. This deck is practically brand new. So there we go. We're going to be taking a look at a brand new stinking deck with that new deck smell. Delicious. All right, so we're going to let's take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how it should work, and then we're going to go out and we're going to crush some hopes and dreams. Let's see what we got here today. This guy, let's see. So this enchantment gives a creature Popo for each enchantment you control, and it gives them first strike. This guy gets a Popo counter every time an enchantment enters the battlefield. This, if you can flash out, and it gives a creature... As long as this, entered this turn, enchanted creature is hex. Ooh, it's only hex for the turn. Ooh, okay. And then the enchanted creature gets +1/+1. Still, it protects your guys from stuff, so that's good. Audacity gives your guy +2 in trample, and when it's put into the graveyard, you draw a card. This one gives your guys flight and +1/+0, and you draw a card. This guy allows you to exile a non-land permanent an opponent controls. And it gets +1/+0 and lifelink and ward 2. This guy, anytime an artifact enters or an enchantment enters the battlefield, you draw a card. So it's a little card draw action. Enduring Innocence is a 2/1 with lifelink, and whenever one or more creatures you control with power 2 or less into the battlefield, you draw a card. And it triggers only once each turn. When it dies, you put it back in as an enchantment. So therefore, you got, it's an enchantment coming out, comes back in as an enchantment, but you get to draw cards with this guy. This guy gets to, every time an enchantment enters the battlefield, you put a Popo counter on target creature, which is going to be like all the time. And then whenever a Calix or an enchanted creature deals damage to a player, you create a token that's a copy of a non-legendary enchantment you control, which is everything other than Calix. We'll talk about probably the best target for it when we can. And then we got Overlord of the Mistmoors, who's the best target for Calix's copying, because if you put this out for, he's just an enchantment. But if you make a copy of him, he comes out as a dude. So you'll get a 6/6 token, and when both of those come into play, you get 2/2/1 white moths flying around. So 4 of them or something to that effect. Man land, some semi-fast dual lands, and some regular lands in here. All right, that's it. So what are we going to do? You got to get some creatures in your opening hand. You got to watch out for that. At least 2. But you want to put out some guys. Optimistic Scavenger is probably the best. Elvish is okay. He's pretty cool. You're wanting to get yourself going towards Calix, because Calix is going to put this thing into overdrive. And then pretty much is just throw stuff onto them. Save your shards and your sheltered by ghosts for when you need them. Everything else is free range, baby. All right, so there it is. That's how you play it. If that sounds good, let's go do it. But before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Dear Black Queen Shouldered, who dwells within the black chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and hear the lamentations of the women. All right, we're playing against Kronos 11, 11, 11, 11. Keep. I'll come at this slow just because the Restless Prairie are so slow. And I can't afford to come in there fast and then slow. What a weird way. All right, he's surveilling. Looks like he might be playing with graveyard reanimation, since surveil is all about putting stuff in the graveyard. Hey, Chomper, it's good to see you. I know you prefer to be outdoors. All right, here comes the damage, whatever he's going to do. Spread the wealth a little bit. All right, good. You let that happen. All right, so we're passing out the Popo counters like candy on Halloween. We don't really have any more enchantments to put out. We got to get up a bit more if we don't want to get Kildosaurus Rex by like a board wipe for 3. All right, that is a good card for us. What are we going to do? Let's put out the Archivist. Let's armor up. She's got trample. Ooh. And we win! Ooh, what a big switcheroo! Victory! Alright, we're playing against Chalupa Batman 322. Alright, I do appreciate Shardmage's rescue. He's got to get ourselves a third mana from someplace here, huh? All right, that's the devil. What I need is the sheltered by ghosts. And we got it. Exactly what I asked for. Perfect. We just gotta get another mana so we get Calix out. At which point then we can start duplicating the sheltered by ghosts. That's too bad. We lost that big time. Let's just keep the shield, man. Let's just keep that out. Should we just block? All right, we'll just keep it like that. We got Shield Mage's Rescue. Not picking it up. All right, we need a third mana. He's up to 5 already. This deck is usually mana heavy. Okay, you're not coming at me. I mean, you might want to come in with all your guys. You really start losing them at this point. And Calix, here we go. All right, we took some hits. How did that happen? If you lost life this turn, huh? We were about to win? We were. Victory! Alright, playing against Pilzgen. 2 mana, no green. What am I looking at here? Alright, let's see what we can do. Alright, well, we got the green. I remember there was a big thing is whether you should wait till your opponent's turn to play Fabled Passage, just so they didn't know what kind of colors you were playing. Ooh, is Manifesting Dread. Pumped! What did you take there? Another Manifest Dread. He's got Ward. Alright, so I can steal that guy, that enchantment. And perhaps that's exactly what we should do. Let's just keep at it. Wait, I gotta do the 4. There we go. Yeah, see, he doesn't pump himself up. Alright, Sheltered by Ghosts onto an elf, I'm thinking. Alright, never mind. Yoink. Down to 4. And we're good to go. Boom, boom goes the room. Victory! Alright, we are playing against Tellurium. Keep. I don't know why I kept this. I mean, creature. Manland. Alright, we're kind of toast. Yeah, this guy can come out for 4 technically. Alright, Calix. I think I could create a duplicate of this when I get it out. This will just draw me some cards. He's got to pump like crazy. What do these guys do? So it's fine. Alright, Pending Doom. And as you can sacrifice his guy to keep me from touching it. He's not. Oh, let's just pump up Superboy there. Look at that guy. All right, Calix and Overlords are pretty kick-ass. Dude, I will sacrifice my Overload. I do not care. Because you know what I'm going to make again on my next turn? Another one. Come at me, brah. Come at me, brah. Come on, you can do it. You're there, get in the pod. Those are your choices. You don't need more mana. You can't pump them. All right, draw your cards. Oh, who are we going to steal here? Anybody worth stealing? Number one, we got to put a flight on my boy here. Let's pump up this guy, I guess. That's fine. Ooh, Ethereal Armor, huh? Sheltered by Ghosts, we could steal one of his guys. That'd be pretty good. What do we have? These are the same. All right, what are we doing here? 7 and 17 total. He's got a block. Let's just go for it. We got some chumps. I'm up to 12. And down to 11. Let's make a copy. More chumps. Who do we want to pump here? Let's pump this guy. All right, you got to be peeing your pants right now. You got nothing, man. I mean, you'd have to wipe the board right now just to make this thing worthwhile, just to even things out with you. Here comes the board wipe. There's some pods. You and your mouse, jump in them. All right, looks like we're seeing some rope action. And we win! Winner, winner! Victory dinner! Rank up. All right, we're playing against xXPhOblaXx. Get rid of the X's. Those are just sort of decremental. Those are just ornamental X's up there, so it's xXPhOblaXx. Oh, I get to go first. Okay, great. Here we go. Force me to discard would be my least favorite thing to do at the moment. And a card was drawn, everybody. It was a land. All right, Lizard Cat. Lizard Cat, Lizard Cat. What are they feeding you? Spread the wealth just a little bit. Take the action. Sure, why not? Let's just pass them around. Those guys are looking good. See, if he's going to go for the super pump, that's fine, but we'll steal him on the next turn. Look at all of our freaking lands, man. This deck might be a little land heavy. Oh, he's going to do that. Well, I'll just steal it back, man. He's what, warded up? Auto pay! And we win! Suck it, suckerfish! Suck it! Alright, we're playing against JoMama. Hey. Hey, you do, JoMama. Word to you. 1, 2, 3. Do we have any creatures in this mix? Okay, creature. Alright. I can't believe we're going to be trying to make use of an Elvish Archivist. I feel like this is the worst card in here. But she does have, when one or more enchantments you control enter, draw a card. Feels so weird saying entering without saying entering the battlefield. Yep. All right, nothing to do for one. I'm surprised if you can't do anything for 2. That's a good 2. That is rough for us. No blocks, man. He's got some beef. We're getting nowhere. Oh, what's this going to do to us? Nothing, just little pluses and trampoline stuff. Little flying action. Sure, let's fly up. Luckily I saw that bow and arrow there at the last second. I mean, it's a solid green deck. He's going to be able to do lots of great damage. He's going to moneyball it. We're not getting anywhere fast is the problem. I need Shelter by Ghosts, but even then he's got a number of 3s out. Those 3s are awesome. You should be scared. I got first strike. I might have to keep him back his defense like a sucker, huh? All right, this is 4. I get a couple of dudes out of the deal. Let's just do that. All right, no attacks. Got some chumps. Those oil are not going to do too much for the evolving adapted pass around. Oh, 5. That's not great. Let's just give him the chump. That's what we need. Gone. Can't play that. That's fine. Get another one out. And done. We might be able to trick him because we can get the Shields Maid's Rescue out there. It's another plus. So that gets us up to a 7. I think he's going to be too scared to come after us is the problem. I'm too scared to attack. I mean, there's all there is to it. Sort of biding time with the Overlord there. What I need is a Calix. Let me say it aloud so that the magic gods can provide. Come on in. You can do it. Come on. It's a trick. It's a trick. There's nothing for you to worry about. One, two. Gone. Ooh, we are getting not a whole lot of anywhere. Let's just see what the Audacity could do for us then. We'll pump action, draw another card. Nice. I know we're taking with this one. Yoink. All right, we got a bunch of mana. Let's just keep the shield rescues open. Trample doesn't really matter. Let's just go with what we got. All right, he's coming. You can see the Overlord. This much life I'm gaining. I don't even need to defend. We either got lucky or the deck just provided what we needed at the right time. Calix is what I really want because that way I can start duplicating my enchantments. I think this guy's starting to see the writing on the wall. His scouts are kind of wussies in comparison to what's going on now. He could deal, what, 5 points of damage? And I don't care. I just don't care. He's got 5 there. Why isn't he raging out with whatever he's got? Is it just time for him to rope out? This seems to be very common tonight. I've been picking up a lot of ropers, which is weird to see this at the gold level. Oh, and we win! Victory! Alright, so we are playing with the Selesnya enchantment deck. You know, just saying that word just makes me want to throw up a little bit. Just a little too much PTSD from 3 years of Kamigawa and having Kamiya transients playing all this crap. But Calix was fun. Calix was super fun. And I did appreciate it for what it was. Could I play this deck again? Maybe. It depends whether or not people are going to start to play this stuff against me. The thing I really, really enjoyed was Calix coming in for damage or any enchanted creature, and then being able to copy an enchantment, which includes Overlord of the Mistmoors. Because even though that guy might be out there impending, being like, I'm coming, it's like if you copy him, he's just out. his little buddies out. And he's not a legendary, so therefore you can have multiples of them. And they're just throwing their little moth creatures all over the place. It was really good. I liked Sheltered by Ghosts. That was a great card, because we're able to exile non-land permanents. It was a wide variety of things you can get. A lot of control. I like the fact that Calix can make copies of those. Shardmage's Rescue kept your guys alive. Gave everything permanent hexproof, which was so incredibly good. So, and then, of course, Optimistic Scavenger with the way that it kept just getting bigger and bigger with the number of artifact or enchantments you put out. The biggest guy I didn't like was Elvish Archivist, because we had no artifacts, but Elvish Archivist was in there to draw cards for us as we put out enchantments. And that was good, except for the fact that she didn't pump on her own. So you got to put things like Ethereal Armor on her. You know, she was just a good target for a lot of enchantments. You can spread a lot of your stuff to it, because you don't want to pile it too much onto one guy, because that's too tempting of a target. Altogether, it was a lot of synergy, a lot of great stuff, sometimes a little slow, especially at the beginning. Because taking a look up here, this should have been a nice aggro deck, and instead we had a lot of slowness at first. I'm kind of concerned at how slow the land is for being what could have been a nice aggro deck, and I'm not sure that it was worth it. This one's good. This one caused me land. This one's okay for aggro. I guess it's fine. This is the only slowing down. For some reason, this guy kept jumping in the way and causing me to be all concerned about how I was playing my land. All right, so let's get to it. Who was the MVP? Who was the most valuable player? It was Calix, Guided by Fate. Calix is still top-notch when it comes to enchantment decks. This guy is completely over the top, the OP of enchantment deck guys. He single-handedly brought Selesnya Enchantment back from the doom in the olden days, and is now guiding yet another Selesnya Enchantment deck into the forefront. So there you go, Calix, Guided by Fate, tonight's MVP. Beyond this, let's see, was this deck competitive? Let's see, I end up getting, I got to go find, it looks like I should, there it is. I end up getting a 73% win rate out of the deal. So it was a great deck. You won more than 2 out of every 3 games with it. It totally smoked at the gold level there. So, yeah, I'd say it's a competitive deck. Number 2, was this deck fun? Yeah, it was. You know, the big one is that I was always going up against red aggro. If I was going to lose to anything, it was just those stupid mice. And a lot of enchantment mice tonight. That was going on a lot, too. Sometimes it was Boros mice. Sometimes it was just straight mono red mice. But it was mice, and we didn't have a lot of good creature removal. Shelter by Ghosts was there, but it wasn't enough. It was only 4, and you really needed Calix to be able to copy it. So, you know, then you had to be fast enough, which means you really had to go first. So there really was a lot of luck when it came to going against the aggro decks I was playing against tonight. Still, regardless, it did a good job. I'd say this is a fun deck to play. Was this deck interesting? Yeah. Why is that? Because it was Selesnya Enchantment. I haven't played that before. I haven't really seen it before in this current meta. When I saw Calix was in here, I was like, oh no, Calix. But then I'm like, no, it wasn't Calix wasn't the guy I hated. It was Kamiya Transience was the guy I hated. I hated the fact you couldn't kill him. You had to exile him, because otherwise he would just come back to your hand. You play him again, and it only costs like 2 to put out. I'm still just completely burned by that guy. But Calix, yep, he was great in here. He was great with the rest of the cards. There's a bunch of great synergy. But Calix together with Optimistic Scavenger, those guys were just throwing popo counters around like candy. It was nuts. So anyways, did I find this to be interesting? I did. I thought it was a very interesting deck. All right, so let's set this up. Was it competitive? Yes. Was it fun? Yeah. Was it interesting? Totes my goats. All right, so that makes this into an A+ deck. And as I'm required by federal law to say, this deck is so choice. I'd highly recommend you pick one up, should you have the means. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, screw you guys, I'm going home. Bye.